When Pakistan collects taxes, who decides how that money is shared between the federal government and the provinces? It's not just a guessing game, it's a system, and that system is called the National Finance Commission Award, or NFC Award for short.
NFC Award is a National Finance Commission Award, which is how the money is, federal taxation is distributed between provinces and the federal government. The current NFC Award, which came in 2010, and it's only for 5 years, so it expired in 2015, but we've continued with it for the last 10 years, says that 57.5% of all federal government taxes, that all taxes you pay on sales tax every time you buy a shampoo, all taxes you pay on income tax, etc., 57.5% of that will go to the 4 provinces. Okay. In addition, another percentage, 1% of monies goes to KP for war on terror. 0.6% of the divisible pool goes to Sindh for giving up Octroi back in 1992. And then the federal government also has to finance AJK, it has to finance GB, and it also finances the FATA portion of the KP government.
It's like slicing a cake, only this cake is worth trillions of rupees, and deciding who gets which slice is both technical and political. Let's break it down. Think of the NFC Award as Pakistan's financial sharing agreement. Every few years, the federal and provincial finance ministers, plus a few experts appointed by the president, sit down, like at a family meeting, to decide how to divide up the country's tax money. This is done under Article 160 of the Constitution. The 2 main goals are, first, to balance resources between federal and provincial governments, called vertical distribution, and second, to fairly divide funds among provinces. That's horizontal distribution. The federal government collects taxes, income tax, sales tax, custom duties, and so on. This pool of money, called the divisible pool, is then shared. For the year 2024-25, the Federal Board of Revenue set a collection target of 12.97 trillion rupees. Out of this, 7.4 trillion rupees is being distributed to the provinces. The rest stays with the federal government. But who gets how much? The current formula was agreed in 2009 during the 7th NFC Award, and it's still being used today. It's shifted away from population-only distribution to a multi-factor model. Here's how the cake is sliced. Poverty and backwardness, 10.3%. Revenue generation, 5%. Inverse population density, 2.7%. Population, 82%. This means that provinces that are more populated still get the biggest slice. But factors like poverty and development levels also matter now. Based on this formula, here's how much each province gets from the divisible pool in 2024-25. Punjab at 51.74%, which was around 3.6 trillion rupees. Sindh at 24.55%, which amounts to 1.8 trillion rupees. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa at 14.62%, which was around 1.22 trillion rupees, which also includes 1% for war on terror, and Balochistan at 9.09%, which amounts to 668 billion rupees in total. In total, provinces received 7.4 trillion rupees, which is about 57.5% of the total pool. And the federal government keeps the remaining 42.5%, about 5.5 trillion rupees. But much of this goes to debt repayments, defense, and federal projects. Now let's talk about why this matters. Without the NFC Award, provinces wouldn't have the money to pay for health, education, roads, or local development. So in theory, it reduces inequality and helps poorer provinces catch up. But it also strengthens provincial autonomy, allowing provinces to decide their own spending priorities instead of waiting for the center. But here's the catch. The 7th NFC Award was signed in 2009. It's meant to be updated every 5 years. But since then, there has been no new award. Why? Because it's hard to get all of the sides to agree. Provinces want more money. The federal government says it has its own bills to pay. And as a result, the same formula has been extended again and again, most recently beyond 2024. Many argue the current formula still gives too much weight to population and not enough to performance, efficiency, or actual needs. Also, the process is heavily political, with decisions sometimes based on negotiation rather than data. For the NFC Award to work better, experts suggest regular updates, better tracking of how funds are used, incentives for provinces to raise their own revenues, stronger transparency, and reporting. The NFC Award allows provinces to function, and it's what holds the federation together. But for it to remain effective, Pakistan needs more than just a formula. It needs political will, regular reviews, and clear accountability. For more updates, news, and explainers, subscribe to DawnNews English.